Welcome back to Rain Day Gaming Predictions. Today we are doing a show that I want to call something new, something exciting, something you have not seen before. Patch Notes Predictions. Yes, we're going to talk about patch notes coming out tomorrow, and we're going to just give some predictions on what is going to occur. So let's get started. All right, so those who don't know, there is a patch notes coming out tomorrow. We've already heard that addressed through Respawn and Apex Legends tweeting it out, as well as lead designers like Ryan K. Rigney. However, one of the biggest statements that they've been making is about the return of one of people's favorite locations to ever drop in Apex Legends history, Skulltown. Now, the big speculation is, how is Skulltown coming about? Because originally it seemed like Skulltown was going to be coming around as a map again, meaning Kings Canyon would be back featuring Skulltown in a very unique way. This would require a ton of map changes and would really change the dynamic of the way we've seen Kings Canyon lately. However, there was a tweet today that changed my perspective a bit, and that's where the prediction comes in. Apex Legends tweeted that, what if Skulltown came back as an arenas map? And this lit my light bulb in my mind, and I'm pretty sure for a lot of you it made a lot more sense than bringing the entirety of Skulltown back after it had been destroyed in the original Kings Canyon. Daniel Z. Klein, a member of the design team, the character design team that I had talked to on my video State of Apex Legends, check that out if you haven't, then tweeted with a quoted tweet saying, "Is this a meme? Is this real? We'll have to find out. Is this basically S-posting?" I truly believe that he's trying to throw people off the scent of this incredibly direct statement that Skulltown is coming back as an arenas map. So prediction number one is that, yes, Skulltown is coming as an arenas map, but I'll tell you why I know it is. The reason I know, and a lot of this is on Twitter, is that I saw one of their level designers discussing how we liked the initial rotation of maps that they put into the arenas, whether it be gardens, whether it be thermal station, whether it be artillery base, and he was getting feedback on that. What that means to me is that that cycle is probably done for all we know. All intents and purposes, they've handled that original cycle, they've got their testing, and they're moving on to new arenas maps, which would make sense if Skulltown is one of the new, maybe 3 arenas maps that will be in rotation for this next part of the season. So you guys let me know in the comments, is Skulltown coming down as a real map? Is it coming back in Kings Canyon, or is it going to be an arenas map, or is it something else entirely? Y'all let me know. The next one is the Revenant heirloom, the official heirloom of the Destructor, the villain of Apex Legends, one of the only characters that really plays that bad guy role. I know a lot of people love playing him, and I know very much are excited to see his heirloom come into the game. If you're not familiar with heirlooms, they are items that, if you were to buy them outright, would cost you $500, and that's pretty much the only way to get them, unless they are in a collection event where you can get them for about $250, maybe a little bit less than that. Heirlooms are pretty much the pride and joy of any player who enjoys a character, to really outfit them with the supreme style in game. And the question is, will Revenant get his? The bigger question is he even on the list of getting his first? We know that one is being made. Shrugtul actually did release a work-in-progress version, which I'm showing you here, of Revenant's heirloom. But is it coming tomorrow? My Rain Day prediction for today is no. We'll have to wait for that a little bit longer, but you guys let me know. If I am wrong, I will be a very happy man. I will be getting that heirloom. Y'all better watch it. So we know what patch is coming tomorrow, but the big prediction, I think, is what are they going to do with character balance and weapon balance? What weapons are going to get the big special adjustment, and what characters might get a big buff that we've been looking for and might get a big nerf if they've been a little bit overpowered, or maybe even a rework. Let's get into the big question on my mind, Fuse. Fuse was a character that I think is primed for a buff. We all know it. He's one of the worst winningest characters, and in fact, Daniel Klein honestly, openly, and very eloquently admitted that even going with Fuse as a design concept was a bit of a flaw. Hindsight's 2020, but making an ability-based character in a game where abilities aren't supposed to do most of your damage is a tough thing to balance around. However, one of the things that Daniel did mention was that maybe Fuse can get some type of elongated knuckle cluster so that it essentially controls space more. This is a cool idea. It seems like it would make it very easy in the database to change, although there might be some more animation work to be done, but this is the type of fix I could see coming for Fuse to give him a little bit more love. Also, some potential tuning, even if it's just 5 damage added to his knuckle cluster, may end up making a difference. Clearly, Fuse is a target that they're trying to work on, but will any big changes happening tomorrow? Probably not. Stay tuned for any of those big reworks for later patches. Another prediction I have is Gibraltar. Gibraltar is notably a character that does not get picked very often, and he has been known to also win a lot when he is picked. This is one of the hardest things to do as a character designer because you now have to make a character that already wins a lot get picked more. But if they get picked more and keep winning more, they'll be super OP. So how do you adjust a character to make them more fun and yet also tune down their win rate so they aren't as oppressive in game if everybody is running Gibraltar like at the high level of Apex Legends? I do think they'll attempt to work this out tomorrow. Although it won't be a permanent or full fix, we will see some Gibraltar changes tomorrow. That is Rain Day's prediction. The Spitfire, will it get adjusted? No, I don't think the Spitfire will get adjusted. I think the Spitfire's in a really good spot right now, and although people are still reeling from last season's oppression that it caused, I do believe the Spitfire is in a decent place. However, the weapon I expect to maybe get some love is the 30-30 repeater. This is a weapon I've been talking about that needs a little bit of something, even though they've got shatter caps, and even though they've got the ability to have this up close and long range play, just doesn't find a way into the meta, guys. I don't know what you want me to say. There's no reason I'd really use a 30-30 repeater if I have a G7 Scout, or I have a Flatline, or I have a Wingman, or I have a Spitfire. Pretty much every other weapon is versatile enough to work from long range with a 3x Ranger and better up close with an automatic spray or just a faster fire rate and more oppression when you are in those areas trying to create presence. Hopefully, though, we do see some adjustments, not just to the marksman category in general, but to specifically the 30-30 repeater, as I don't feel like the marksman weapons yet have found their way into enough of a niche to make them as distinct as the pistols, the SMGs, the ARs, and of course the shotguns. Speaking of shotguns, I feel like we have a really great balance of shotguns, and this is a prediction that I have that I'm a little wary about happening. I don't know if we will see some shotgun balance, but it just feels like we will. The EVA 8 absolutely dominated in the ALGS over the last few weeks, and it was really the shotgun of choice. Even the Peacekeeper was just one that, yes, here and there people were using, but it became so clear that in those late game bubble fights, the EVA 8 was the clear apex predator of the shotguns. However, if we see a little bit of a nerf to EVA to kind of balance out with the newly introduced Peacekeeper again and the Mastiff, I wouldn't be mad at it. I would just feel that it's kind of nice for the EVA 8 to have its heyday now. So I predict some EVA 8 changes. Last but not least is a sword coming to Apex Legends. I know a lot of you have waited for this part of the video because if you are following me on Twitter, you know I tweeted yesterday after seeing the release of the trailer of Pathfinder's backstory that a sword was featured in the hands of Dr. Reed, which I wasn't really aware of, but I have now been made aware of, is Ash, and eventually becomes Ash. I believe it's that way around. She wasn't Ash, she became Dr. Reed. But she was using a sword, and there was a lot of sword hinting, thinking, could this be a new weapon coming into Apex Legends? Now, the responses to this tweet were pretty hilarious, and a lot of people went back thinking of their old Halo days with the lovely plasma weapons that came through. And, you know, I remember slaying some of my friends on back in those LAN parties that we used to have, but I don't think it would be as aggressive as that. In fact, a lot of people got really upset at the idea that there would be a sword introduced in Apex, as it does seem like something that's more Destiny-esque. And in any game that they've introduced it, such as Fortnite, it has really rubbed people the wrong way.
Sing, 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 sing. Why is that in the game? Sing, sing.
It's been horrible, basically. I don't really know if a sword is going to be coming to Apex. I was really just tweeting, which is why you guys should follow me at Rain Day Gaming on Twitter for more tweets like that. But there was a lot of engagement around it to making me think, hey, maybe this is something that would stir up a lot of hype for the community. And if there is any developer that is going to do it well, it will be Apex and Respawn, because clearly they know how to balance weapons. Now, I don't know if a sword is actually going to come to Apex Legends, but wouldn't it be cool, like, actually having a sword and, in fact, putting it in the hands of a developer who is extremely competent? And I don't want to hear about footsteps and servers. We all know things happen to games, especially in a live service game that is always on. But in general, Apex and the development team is really competent, some of the best in the industry. And I feel like given a task of a sword, they would find the right line eventually of how to make it work. So let me know what you guys think. However, for the prediction, is it coming tomorrow? Did we get teased one of the craziest weapons in the world, and will it be shocking to us in a way that we would never expect by releasing it a few days after a trailer that barely hinted at it? No, we're not going to get it tomorrow. No, I guarantee we will not get a sword tomorrow. But in the future, who knows, especially with the reaction that it got. All right, so that's kind of the small version of this test video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, me making some predictions over what we will see tomorrow. And I could go even more in depth as to if we'll see trailers, what type of cosmetics we'll see, but maybe we'll save that for the next episode. So make sure to subscribe and follow, and I'll see how much more of the predictions and the detail that I can go into. Hopefully you learned something. If you did, leave a like. And what's more important is that we're still going. Tonight, comment down below what your predictions are. Come back to this video and brag about if you were right. I would love to see if you guys are smarter than me or more on the nose of what Apex Legends and Respawn will be adding into the patch. Either way, I'm super excited and expect a video tomorrow covering the patch notes, talking about all of it, and addressing whether I was super wrong or super right, which it's going to be right. All right, guys, as always, never give up, never stop gaming. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you all next time.